Wise Words with SJ. That's me. A show where we talk about my wisdom. All right, your wisdom. You send me information, you send me questions, and maybe I can help you. I hope so. And today we're going to talk about marrying young. Yeah, you, marrying young. You married young, didn't you? I married young with my first husband, okay? I was 21. I got engaged when I was 20. I know it's crazy. You probably think I'm crazy talking about this, but I looked at the experiences of, like, let's say, my grandparents. They were married. Well, my grandmother was married young. My grandfather was a little older than she was. They married in 1920 when she was 20. She was born in 1900. He was born a little before that. So, and they were married for 58 years until he passed in 1978. And they went through everything together. They never thought that they would get a divorce. There wasn't even talk about divorce back then. And like my uncle and aunt, they've been married since 1957. What is that? Almost how many years? Let me figure this out if I could add it up. Now, I don't know. What, 57 years? I have no idea. I can't even think. Maybe longer than that, probably, of course. And they're still together. And he's in his early 90s, and she's in her late 80s, and they're still together. And another example, my son. He married when he was 21, and he's still married almost 20 years. Actually, it's going to be 18 years soon. Wow. He and his wife were both 21 when they married. Those are three good examples. Now let's talk about me. Okay, so I married young, and it's so fun. I was an old-fashioned girl. I had a lot of friends in college that we all had our boyfriends, we all had our girlfriends, whatever we had. And we got engaged, and then we all got married. And I believed, nobody believed that I believed this, but I believed that you should be a virgin when you got married. That was my thinking. That was my boyfriend's thinking. So that's what I was. I thought, I'll be a virgin when I get married, so it was the right thing to do. And yes, I was, but you got to shop around before you pick up the merchandise, if you know what I mean. So I did marry young, yes, but my marriage didn't last. We were just different people. It was the late 60s, 68, 69. That's when I got married in 1968. Oh my God, that was a big year of change. United States changed in 1968. There were so many different things happening back then. I got married, we split up in 71, and then like in 75, we finally got a divorce. I wasn't rushing to get a divorce, it just didn't matter to me. Anyway, so marry young. I don't really know if that would be good today or not. My son seems to be working. Mine didn't work. I don't know. It's good. I think it's important to go out there and try different things. Go out into the world and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And if marriage is a good thing, live together. That's what I would have done had I to do it all over again. Live together with the person before you get married to them. That way you see what your likes are, what your dislikes are. Are you compatible? What side of the bed do you sleep on? Are you an early morning person? I'm an early morning person. I get up early every morning. Actually, I have a cat who wakes me up in the morning. she waits till I get up, but then she meows for me to get up. Hi, time to get up, Mama. She wakes me up. I'm a morning person anyway. I always have been. Or you an afternoon or an evening person. See, I couldn't be married to somebody who was an afternoon or an evening person. I have no interest in that, okay? And then other things. Do you slop your food when you eat? Certain things, like my husband and I have breakfast every single morning together. And like clockwork, after he eats, he always has to blow his nose. Now, would that bother you? And I have asthma, so I cough. Would that bother him? Not so much as we wouldn't be married still, and we're married for 21 years. I can't believe it's been 21 years. See? So there was the first husband I married young, the second one I didn't marry young, and the third one I didn't marry young. And I'm still married to this one. So you think about it. If that's what you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I was just thinking, I thought I would talk about it. So what is the success of people who are married young, like my son? They wanted to have kids when they were young, so they would grow up with their kids. I had my son later. I shared about it in my last episode. That's when I had him, when I was later on. I was like 36 when I had Cameron. I don't know. My grandparents worked, my uncle and aunt worked, even my parents. My parents were married from 1943 to 1990. That's when she decided to get a divorce. I don't know. And then my father died 2 years later. They still would, but you know what? I buried them together. So I don't know if I have wise words about this or not, because I'm not sure. Some people it works, some people it doesn't work. I don't know. My niece and nephews, they married very young too, and they're still married. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't have much to say about it. I just thought, I would just throw this out there to see if it worked. If I have anything interesting to say about it, I don't know. You decide. But if you've married young, why don't you write me and tell me the success that you have? What is the secret to your success of marrying young? My parents, they were married for a long time. I guess she liked him because he's exciting. My son's very exciting. So my daughter-in-law, he's very exciting. My uncle and aunt, she's just a great person. She puts up with his shenanigans, and he's in his 90s. My grandparents, they were very sexually compatible. That's what my mother told me. They were always having sex. I said, oh, isn't that great to know? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that fabulous to hear that my grandparents were always having sex? So that's a very, very, very good thing. So if I've given you any insight into this, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me your success in marrying young and what worked for you. Oh, one of my best friends in college, she married like her college sweetheart. He was 21, I think 22, she was 20, something like that. They were married until she passed. So they had a great marriage, great kids, see? So there's another couple. I'm just like the, exception to the rule. I've been married more times and engaged more times than most of my friends. That's just me. And if anything ever happened to this husband, God forbid, I probably would get married again myself. But as far as marrying young, I was too young when I got married, much too young. I needed to experience other people. What other people did. I needed to go out with other men besides I had my first boyfriend. I married my first boyfriend. Too much. That was just too much for me. We were just different people on different planes of the earth. So all I want to say is mine didn't work. My son's works, my uncle and aunt's worked, my grandparents worked, and other people I know worked, okay? So there you go. If I've helped you at all, good. If I haven't helped you, well, I did my best. So you pick it. Anyway, join us for our next episode. I'm going to surprise you all with the next one because I know a lot about this, and I hope to talk about it and hear from you. And if nobody told you they love you today, I love you because you're you. And please email me at wisewords@jltv.tv, and I'll answer all your questions, whether you like it or not.